Okay. Well, hopefully we're back. So I do have YouTube on one screen and this live stream on another. So I've switched cameras, so I'm actually hooked up hardwired to the network now. I'm not through the Wi-Fi, so that's probably one of my big problems. So do comment if hey Adam, how you going, man? Yes, Gil, did get your message. I was just trying some new tech that I've got at the bench here and it sort of didn't work, but I'll go back to the old school way of doing it, which is using my C920. Okay, so just joined us, and because I did delete the other video because I did have a quick look at it and it was just absolute rat shit, so it wasn't very clear at all. But yeah, I just thought while it's raining and I've got nothing to do, I'm pretty bored. My girlfriend's gone to sleep, so she's out in the US, so she's having a kip. So I thought, just sort of do some model building. Haven't been at the bench for a couple of weeks. Just sort of touching up all the final builds that I've been doing. Doing some repair work because the D9 days that I was building, I think a rat was climbing on my shelf. Just due to the season here, and I do live in the country, so yeah, the rodents sort of found the bird's seed stash. So yeah, I think knocked the D9R off my shelf and broke the arms for the blade. So just uh, pinned it back in with some brass rod that I bought the other week while I was with Greg down the hobby shop. But I'll probably make a video of that, just a little update of what's happening just before I go to the QMHE. So if you guys are going to the Brisbane show in a couple of weeks or a few weeks time, looking forward to that. And also it will be Greg's birthday in about a week and a bit's time, so we'll be celebrating that while we're down there. But enough of that. This is what I'll be doing this afternoon, and hopefully the video is a lot clearer. It for some funny reason it was only streaming in 720 on the phone, but it seems to be streaming 1080 on my webcam, so this is what I want. But anyway, this is it. This is what we'll be doing. Is the WWToons Tiger 1 German heavy tank. Kit numbers WWT001. Okay, these retail over here, surprisingly, they're about 20 bucks retail over here, but you can get these for about $8 to $10, $12 overseas. And just a big shout out to Gilbert Lathan. He is watching, for sending me the link. So as I do get more money, once I get all these this expo out of the way and get all the expenses that are coming up, I'll probably be getting some more towards the end of the year. But the box is empty. I've already stripped out the stuff in the box, but the back of the box is pretty cool. I don't know what these are with, like, yeah, it just seems to be pretty cool pictures. I don't know if this is like a series over in China or it's a game, because it does have a PlayStation logo down the bottom, so this could be a game on PlayStation. If it is, I might even go on YouTube, see if I can find anything regarding this. And if you guys do know, just comment down below, because the live chat is open on one screen, so I can see everything. If you guys got any questions, I just got to turn my head to the left and I can see everything. But yeah, it's a bit of stats on the box. I won't go too much in the box, and pretty much this video I want to do for the beginners, because it's a very simple kit. But if you are an experienced modeler, um, Adam, I want them all. If you're friends with Gilbert, he's a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine on Facebook. I've known Gilbert for a long time now. Um, get in contact with Gilbert. Just message him on Facebook. He's in Canada, and I'm sure, because Gilbert, if you're watching, it's going to be a game for the. Oh, okay, there you go for the PS. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, and Adam's a good friend of mine from New Zealand as well. So if you are looking for the links, get in contact with Gil, and I'm sure Gil will be more than happy to send you the links of where he got his from, because he is a mad World War Toons kit haul. I think he's got them all in his collection now. I think he's got doubles and triples and stuff. So, but anyway, like I said, this is pretty much going to be aimed at for the guys who are new into the hobby. We were talking about cutting the plastic, how to sand it back, and if the two guys or the three guys that are watching, I don't know who the third one is. It could be Greg. Greg could be jumped back on again, Frosty. But if you do watch back later, I know the three guys here are very experienced modelers, and the work they produce is very, 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 very nice. We need more PR from them to keep them coming. Well, that's it. So hopefully this video, seeing a build, word gets out that these are popular, and comment down below. Don't forget to share this video if on your page. If you've got a modeling page, share this video, get the word out that these things are popular, and hopefully Meng see this and they do start producing more of these kits, because I'm going to show you what's in the box. If you've never seen, I know Gil has seen inside one. Here it does have this kit. So and I'm going to grab a 35th scale Tiger just to compare it all. Okay, so this is the Rifield's Tunisian Tiger that you can see up here on the top. Okay, and you can see the upper hole on this World War Toons vehicle. It's shrunk. It's like obviously it's a real cartoony style model, which is kind of cool, which is why I like it. If you don't have a lot of space on your shelf or anything like that, these are perfect. Especially like if you're a younger modeler and you're just trying to store these in your bedroom on your bookshelf or on your computer shelf or wherever you put these will be perfect for you. But like I said, I will be showing you the basics of cutting the plastic down, cleaning it all up. So I'll just put this just off to the side there so you can see it. There are a couple of sprues that you do get with this. It's wheels, which is pretty cool. Like I like how it's very simplified. The detail, even like on a small scale model, the detail is actually quite nice still. You still get the nuts and bolts, but compare it to a very nicely detailed Rifield's model, you can tell the difference. That it's just very abstract. Okay, it's probably the only way I can put it, and it's more just to have fun. If you want to add extra detail parts and add 1/35 parts to it, just to even make it look more, just that much more funnier, yeah, you can do that. And which is probably I'll probably end up doing if I can find bits. I'll probably end up finding like a commander and just throwing in there. Hopefully they'll have a big wonky head hanging out of the turret or something, because looking at the cupola itself on here, it looks like we're going to be able to fit a commander in here. If I can find, where's the box itself? Okay, so we just got to find the hatch. Okay, so the hatch is here. So I think, well, the hatch itself, it looks like it's pretty much the same size as a 1/35 Tiger cupola hatch. So I'll probably end up throwing a commander figure in there. It's going to look pretty funny because it's going to have like a 1/35 figure in this. So I'm thinking about doing that. But the belly, it's very simple. Okay, there's really not much to it. Just cut it out, sand it down, slap the top on. The barrel's very stubby, very, as Gilbert said, it's very cute. Two-piece barrel. and I'm going to show you how. And I know two-piece barrel puts a lot of people off, sort of scares them because of the join line. And would you believe that this barrel here is a two-piece barrel? I think Riffields do a two-piece barrel. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember. I'd have to double check, so don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure this was a two-piece barrel, I think. Because I remember the parts count was just ridiculous. But anyway, so I'll show you how to sort of get the join lines out of it, so you can't really notice it much. The tracks, I'll probably run through how to show you how to paint the tracks up or how I do it. I'm not saying it's the only way to do it, it's just how I do it and how I find it easy. Tools, okay, there's like tool parts count is almost nil. You've got, I think, your shovel. We have the D shackles on the back, okay, which are also very abstract. Okay, they're very long and like that, like so. And I'm just going to get my webcam. Hang on, just going to jump onto my webcam settings for a second. So just excuse me, just for a couple of minutes. I set the focus so it doesn't. So I'll lock the focus off so it doesn't sort of decide to do its own thing. Okay, so all the tools are already on the top of the hole here. You got your tow cables, you've got the rods to clean out your barrel, you've got your axe. Okay, so you've noticed there's no hammer or there's no crowbar or anything like that on here. There's all the tow cables are molded in on the side. Okay, so you just need some careful painting and a very thin paintbrush. And the turret themselves are two pieces with the deck. It's all together, like the hatch is already on. The toolbox, the turret toolbox, is sort of already molded into the plastic into one piece. So that's more. You got the antenna base down here. Okay, so you got the antenna base, and we have all the suspension arms molded into the side. Okay, so that's it. Like what you see there is what you get when it comes to plastic. It's very simple. And like I do recommend these if you want something fun to build, or even if it's just your first time modeling, guys. It's I think a kit with such a low parts count isn't going to put you off. So there's your decal sheet. Okay, and I'll also do a tutorial. Now this will be a perfect video for a tutorial when it does come to decal this thing. I'll give you a run through on this. Okay, this is the Master Tools decal tray that I picked up the other week when I was down at Hobby Run with Greg Frost. So like I promised in the video, if you've seen the sort of unboxing review of this, it is on the video on the archives, so just go back probably about a week or something and you'll see it there. So there's the decal sheet. Very low parts. There's probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, well, 8 to 9 decals you got to put on this model. The tracks, rubber band style. Okay, I'm not too fussed because these are rubber band. These look like, so these are sort of squished together. You can see where they join them together, but these are now one piece as they come in the kit. And you get a couple of polycaps, so the road wheels do work. Okay, that's pretty cool. And the instruction book, okay, it's nice, typical Meng, very nice color instructions with sprue map and some caution information on the front page, or the first page and inlay. We've got some stuff to talk about the tools recommended. So we've got some side cutters, a hobby knife, and some tweezers. Okay, and it doesn't talk about the glue, okay, but it talks about the decal application on the side here as well, but don't need to read about that because I will run through that with you probably in the next video. I don't think I'll get it, no, I won't get it paint started today. It's too late in the afternoon for that. Okay, so I've got all these CAD drawing styles of the road wheels and everything, how it goes together. Okay, so you can see here the side just sort of glues on there. You can't go wrong, and you really can't make a mistake because all the locating tabs, the female points and the male points sort of interlock with each other, and even the extra track for the front armor extra armor on the front. It has locating pins, as you can see there, like female points, and you got the male points on the tracks. So I mean that all goes together pretty well. And everything on the, even from the glacier, we've got the way that the lights go on, the rails, the shovel, just everything sort of goes together very easily by the looks of things. Okay, and even the back plate, so we'll get into that. There's the main gun assembly, and as you can see for yourself, everything is self-explanatory on the top here. Attaching the main gun, and if you want to paint the interior, you can, which I will be doing, as I always do with my models. So we got turret parts assembly. Okay, so we've got spare tracks. We have just some vision ports and things like that to go on, and we will be leaving this open. Okay, so where they're showing you to glue that down closed, we'll be having it open, and I'll go through my bits box with all my Tiger Commander figures, and we'll pick something out of that. And I'm not going to show you how to paint the figure properly, because I'm not a figure painter, so I'll probably do the best I can. My figures are still pretty crap when it comes to figure painting. I'm just going to be honest with you. So if you're looking for a tutorial how to paint nice figures, this ain't the video for you. So we got turret parts assembly as well, got smoke launchers going on, and then attaching the turret to the chassis. So, and there's a little paint guide on the back, which is pretty cool. It's going to be Dunkelgel and browns. So I'll be showing you what kind of paints I'll be using, how to, it's going to be everything, guys. It's going to be how to thin your paints down, air pressures, and all that sort of stuff when it comes to painting, weathering. And on the back we've got color reference. Okay, so here we've got the Meng AK paints call out, and we're what are they, water based color accretion paints, so I'm not too sure who makes those, but they're asking for matte black, wood brown, German dark yellow, which is Dunkelgel, and steel. Okay, so they're your basic colors. So basically 4 basic colors, but we'll be using a heap more than that. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And the tools, okay, what they're talking about is hobby knife, set of tweezers, and if I can find my cutters, okay, so I'm using a pair of Xeron cutters. Other things we'll be using are just sanding sticks. Okay, I think these are just flory thinny sticks. I think they are the skinny sanders. I just chopped them down so they're like short and they're easy to use. Okay, so that's how I sort of use them. Other things, if we be, what else we'll be using? Glue. Okay, so when it comes to glue, we'll be using the Tamiya quick setting. Okay, extra thin. This stuff is very potent, guys, so don't sniff it. It will give you a really bad headache, so make sure you got plenty of ventilation. There, eggplane on Facebook snap kit. Oh, okay, I've got a few Hasegawa eggplanes still in my stash, Gil. They are fun to build. I do agree with you there. But as you know, I'm more of, if it doesn't have tracks and a big gun, it's normally, I sort of look away from it for a little while. I've really got to be in the mood to build an aircraft. I'm not saying they're not fun to build, that's just not my thing. So, alright, so let's begin. So, clippers. Okay, so we're going to crack out instructions, because I'll put my instructions away. Good on you, dickhead. Alright, let's get page 1. So we're looking at the road wheels and polycaps. Okay, so what we're going to do is, what I like to do is with my road wheels is we'll get all this, just push all this onto the side. So these will be, by the looks of things, these will be your inside, the interior wheels. These will be exterior. There's your idler wheels and there's your drive sprocket. Okay, so we're going to need both of these screws. And all we're going to do is we're going to clip these wheels off. Okay, I am cutting hard edge up against the plastic. Sometimes I don't recommend it. It depends on, like, if you're using really cutting off really fine parts, especially on the more detailed kits. I'll just give you an example. What you really should be doing is, if I bring it in closely, try to cut, like bring the clippers away from the part and cut the nib off there, so that way you're left with a little bit that way. That way you're not bruising the part, you're not damaging the plastic itself, and that way once it's off the sprue, you can just like go in a bit closer and then cut it off like so. And I'll just show you again just in case you missed it. So just bring it away from the part, just come away separately a little bit, cut, and that just drops off, and then just clip it off cleanly. Or you can just like slowly work your way towards closely to the part and just clip that down. Yeah, yep, we all started. That's exactly right, Adam. I remember starting. Oh, geez, and you probably heard the story hundreds of times. I think my mother started me on modelling. It was like she was either buying me colour-in pencils and sketchbooks, or going to the local supermarket back in the early '80s and buying me. I think they were Revell. They might have been Revell, or something. That remember Revell used to sell the model kits, but they're in the plastic bags, like 1/44 scale, and they had like the cardboard tabs stapled on, and that was it. You just open it up and the instructions were inside the cardboard on the tab that goes over the plastic bag. So I mean, I do thank my mother for that, who's no longer with us. So if you are watching, Mum, thank you very much for that, and I know you always do watch. So there is that, and I'm just going to cut everything off the sprue. I'm not going to go like one by one, because I just want to, it's going to speed up the build process if I just cut everything off, clean everything down. Okay, so, and don't do what I used to do as a kid, just twist the parts off the sprue. We've all done it. Or we've used scissors. I used to use my mum's kitchen scissors for cutting off parts off the sprue, and she used to lose her shit with me because I used to ruin them all the time. Okay, so just going to keep going. Alright, so now that we've got those on, do these. So we've got short ones and long ones. So the two inside wheels aren't the same, okay? So if we go, you can tell by the inside ones because they got the holes on them. You can see on the back that the shafts, one's short and one's long, okay? Whoops. So you've got to keep that in mind, not to confuse them, because they are different. And it does show you here. So you got the one with the long shaft there, and you got the one with the short one. So we've got two different sets there, and then we've got so we'll keep going with that. But I'd like to see how these go together. So basically, alright. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get I'm just going to cut all these poly caps out. She's already enough, be quicker. So that, and we should grab the other one, because you do get two sets of these. But if you do have thick carpet, do be very careful, because if you lose these, the carpet monster will eat these and you will never get them back again, because they're not exactly that big, and they will be hard to see. Alright, so they're done. All we're going to do is I'm going to get these ready. Chuck all these poly caps in. even on the idler wheels and the drive sprockets. And I only go in one of these, you're just going to find the one that it sits in. Okay. So I'm just trying to sort everything out. Right, so on the, you see that there's little locating pins. Hopefully there's a little pin, little indentation there, and there's a locating lug right here. So they basically go in like that. So it's pretty easy. Right, so they go there. I'm just going to put them on for now. I'll glue them down later on. And then we'll go with the short ones. And then when I put them together, where the clip points are, okay, if I can bring it down a little bit and see where the clip points are on these wheels, I want to keep them together so when we do sand them down, it's going to be just sanding off there instead of trying to find where the other points were clipped off. Okay, so we've got two different types of wheels here. Just bring this down a bit more. just throwing these together like so. And then we do have extra polycaps, okay, so these must be extra, just in case you lose some. They give you 4 extra because I can't seem to find, unless they're for the, they might be for the barrel or something. But I can't seem to see anywhere else in instructions where they're telling you to put those polycaps. So for now, I'm just going to say they're extras, okay, so because everything else has them. So I'm going to squeeze those together. And then same with these final idlers here. Alright, so now that they're all together, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab some of this quick setting cement. I'm just going to run a little bit. You don't need a lot because it does run down. Okay, so just going to pull these wheels apart just a little bit, put a drop, and push them back together. Okay, that's all you need. And I'm just going to keep those to the side so I know which ones I've done. And I'm just going to keep repeating the process on all these wheels. It's not going to take that long. If you do get a bit of a run on the glue, don't be tempted to wipe it off, just blow it, because it evaporates and almost leaves no residue behind. So if you rub it, you're going to get fingerprints on your plastic, so just blow on it and it'll just let it dry. It dries very quick too, guys. So, and then all we're going to do is we're going to grab a sanding sponge. Okay, so just going to grab, just going to quickly knock these lugs off and just smooth it off. And just trying to keep it, I'm sanding, trying to sand around the wheel, so I don't want a flat spot on the wheel. It's the last thing I want. So I'm just going to quickly smash these wheels. I did a spot of post shading, but I lost a lot of with enamel wash. Going to stick with oils and acrylics for weathering. Yeah, you just got to find what works for you. Like it, yeah, it's did a spot post shading, and just keep. I think keep the washes very thin. it's. I mean, you got to find. Or for me, I have to find the right color and the right strength. If maybe use something that's not strong enough or not dark enough. It's weird because especially with enamels, it can really sort of take back the clear coat. So yeah, I've like when it comes to like doing tracks now on my armored vehicles, I try not to use enamels, especially on indie link tracks, because they just eats the glue too much and they fall apart. But when it comes to panel line washing and stuff, I still love using like those enamel washes. It all depends what you're doing with it. It's probably how I look at it. And you've seen how much paint I have in my shelf, and I'll say it every time I talk about paint in my videos. I try and find, say I buy a certain brand of paint, like one product, and I try it on something and I think it doesn't work. It may not work for that particular application, but it might work for something else. So like, if you're buying, like for example, with the AK washers, I still find them too strong on certain things, even if I wash it down for tracks or whatever. But I'll use them for panel line washing, armor or turrets or whatever. You just got to find what it's really, or how you apply that paint and how it really works. Like you might use a thing, especially if you build aircraft, it might really work on ordnance, and it may not work on the landing gear, or whatever. It's just But that's Hey, CW Modeling is watching, and you probably wonder where I've been. I've not been on the Hangouts much. I've pretty much been working every weekend. It's crazy. It's a good thing though, because it gives me more money. I think I ended up working 6 hours yesterday. 2.5 hours turned into 6 hours, but that's a good thing because it actually made my day worthwhile. Alright, so down to the last 3 wheels. I mean, this is probably when it's really boring to watch when it's live, but as I've sort of ended the live stream, you can always skip forward and get into the other stuff. So all I'm doing now is just getting a hobby knife and just knocking back the cutoff points. I don't want to be sanding this down because you can see the teeth or the cogs on the drive sprocket. They're really, really shallow because it is like a real cartoony type build, so it's not like your standard drive sprocket where the details are deep. Details are quite shallow on this, so I've got to try and be very careful not to destroy the very little detail that is on these drive sprockets. So I'm just going to go with clippers. So what I might do, actually this still works, just going to get my little mini engraver. Just knock back those lugs just a little bit and give it a quick scrape back. And just being very careful too that I'm not trying to go too much into the wheel, just lightly over the cut point there. And that one's done. Should be another set here somewhere. So what tracks? Hey, Aries. Oh, not Aries. Mini. What tracks? Well, being the kit that it is, it's like I can't really use 1/35th scale tracks with they're too wide. So what they give you, Dave, is just rubber tracks. Okay, so it's, I mean, these still can be weathered up, but you know me, you know what I'm like. I don't really like using rubber tracks, but just for this build, I'm gonna be using these rubber tracks just to show basics of weathering and painting. Because we all got to start somewhere, I guess, don't we? I don't expect like a 12-year-old kid to go and get himself a set of frills or magic tracks or anything like that, because he's just going to throw the kit in the bin and go, nah, this is bullshit. Alright, so wheels are done, I think. Yep, alright, so all the wheels are done. So we go to the next step, which is the roller hole. So we're just going to knock this out of the sprue quickly. So that, and then we need these. It's it looks like it's about to rain here. Like we got forecast, we're supposed to be getting a lot of rain because we haven't really had much rain this month or last month. But we did get a bit of thunder. But who knows? Knowing this town, it normally just goes, oh, I'm approaching this town. That's all it goes around. But sometimes we get a really good rainfall, but then sometimes we get hardly anything. So who knows, dude? But I hope it's I hope it all goes well for you. Seb's on hold. Anyway, so no. Yeah, I know you. Seb's on holidays. Lucky bugger. I'm just trying to read all the comments. 1:55 a.m. So what time is it now? Here it is 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. 3 o'clock. 2, 5, 3, 2. Picked up Hobby Boss M4 high-speed tractor and a trumpet on those. Yes. Well, I'm still in town, but I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to go back to the city. I just like it too much here. Everyone shits onto me now for making simple armor kits, but the point keeps you guys interested and builds. Yeah, well, that's right. It's I mean, like, yeah, I don't build, me personally, I don't have a lot of Tamiya kits, but the kits that I have built, especially that Tiger, like this Tiger here, was probably one of the first Tamiya kits that I've built in probably 20 years. And like looking at this Ryefields one and the Tamiya one, it's, I mean, you really can't tell when it comes to detail wise. And obviously, I don't know, it's the Ryefields one feels a little bit heavier. I don't know why, because there's no interior inside this. But I don't know, maybe, who knows, maybe the plastic might be a little bit thicker. But I mean, this went together very easily. It's, yeah, and then this one, it was just a lot of build time, especially with tracks. So like, and that's a good point that you that's a good point that you brought up, Adam, in the chat. And if you are watching like via live, join in on the chat if you got any questions. I mean, all these guys here, Gilbert, Adam, Mr. Mini Dreams, they're all very talented modelers in their own right. And if you got any questions, guys, feel free to ask. And if there's something that I can't answer, any one of these guys will be able to jump in and answer your questions for you. But that is, like I said, it's a very good point what you're saying. But the Tamiya kits, because like you can spend, people say Tamiya kits are expensive for what they are and rah 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 and all the rest of it. but they do go together really good. The detail's nice. They're simple to build, and and it looks like what it's meant to look like. I mean, you could spend, say, and I'm just rambling off numbers here. You can spend $60 on a Tamir kit and $90 to $100 on a Dragon kit. Okay, your Dragon kit's going to be a lot more complicated, and the instructions can be a bit iffy sometimes with Dragon. But at the end of the day, if you don't know what you're doing and you mess up that Dragon kit, you've just thrown $90 down the drain. Where the Tamir kit just goes together simply, and you can normally it's start off with a simple kit with nice detail and listen to what other people think. What's this? Old farts like me with no patience. Yep, and even lazy farts like me like kits like this. Simple. Okay, so we're just going to go back. Sand all these down. Just waiting for the variant modeler to get on too. I'm sure he'll be floating around somewhere. If not, he's probably seeing his father today. Or he's just gone to bed. Okay, so I'm going to grab our real skinny sander because I want to get into here. So how is your how are the cars going, Dave? It's been a while since I've actually watched any modelling videos on YouTube, but some I really don't watch anymore, modelling videos, kit reviews or anything like that. A lot of it nowadays are watching documentaries, World War II stuff. Modern, I've been watching a lot of like stuff on Afghanistan, like the American soldiers in Afghanistan. I find that interesting, but yeah, as it comes to like catching up on people's videos, it's between work and that, it's just like I really don't get much time. I really got to start doing that, stop making excuses, but yeah, it's just how it is at the moment. German war files. Nazi megastructures, whatever it is. That's a pretty good series too. And also like Greatest Tank Battles. That's awesome. That's an awesome documentary. And of course, Lock and Load. The Army. Alright, so I'm just gonna chuck these in. Okay, so these just go in like so. Just test fit. Like I just didn't do there. Just test fit and make sure everything goes together before we start slapping glue on there. Now this thing pretty much snap fits together. There you go, you're right, girl. You're not just a pretty face, you're a smart bastard as well. Alright, so it's just locked in there. Alright, but just for extra measures, I'm just going to run a big drop of glue in there, press it in, and then a bit of glue on this side. One drop will do because it'll just spread. Then what I'll do is just going to run a bead of glue in here. Another one, get a good decent drop on this brush and just run it down there like so. Give it a blow in there just to get it pushed along that crack. Okay, he tracks. You can see, like just from what I've done, these are all the parts we got left. Not much at all, guys. So we're smashing through this build. Very simple. You can definitely build it in an hour or so, or a couple of hours anyway. especially for one of those Google Hangouts. You can probably build it even quicker. Those Hangouts are almost like a drug. It just, yeah, you get a lot done. We all know that. Yes, I lose it today watching and catching up. Just for, yeah, that's right. And then between making my own videos, yeah, dude, it's like I pretty much get squat all the time nowadays. Okay, so they just go in there like so. So to show you again, see there's just a couple of things on the back, like that, and they just go in that hole like so. And all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to glue it in from the back. Just going to decent drop of glue right there. Right. This quick setting glue doesn't take long to dry at all. Right, so that's done. That's done. They're asking to put the road wheels on. I'm going to leave the road wheels on till later on, because I want to actually do want to paint the inside, and I want to paint the insides here as well. Okay, so that's being left off. Okay, so let's slap this on. Alright, so that just clamps in there like so. Couple of locatings, like 4 pins inside. You can see them. Hopefully you can see them. There you go. So way in there. Oops, wrong way, idiot. So in there, there's one there, and there's another one that's inside here, and that's repeated on both sides. And you basically just line all those 4 holes up, and everything just slots together. I mean, just it's almost snap fit. You know, that doesn't come apart. So if you don't have any glue, don't stress. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue at the front here. Press it down a little bit more, just line it up in there. And I'm going to get some glue. I'm just going to glue it down the front here. So glue that down, and I'm not going to bother. Oh, actually, I may as well. It's not really going to matter, yeah, because there's a bit of a gap, and you can fill that gap in if you want. It's up to you. Okay. And then it's asking to put details on the front here. Okay, so I'm going to do that in a second. I'm not in a real sort of rush to get them on as yet. I'm going to get this. I'm going to skip all that. I'm going to chuck this back deck on. Or maybe, hang on, better check just in case, because I may not be able to get these wheels on. I'm going to throw these wheels on just now, but I'm not going to glue them in. Better see them, make sure it all fits. Yeah, because I generally don't put my road wheels on till the last gill. It's just, I find it easier for me anyway. Okay, so I should line all them up. I'm having polycaps in here. Everything works. I'm not pushing them all the way down to start off with. I'm just sort of getting them lined up. Okay, so get these lined up. Right, so points there all in. Okay, so do you remember? I think that was on the these go on the outside. See, that went on pretty easily. And then that goes on the outside. Track's done. God, I wish tracks are this easy all the time. Tracks are done. Okay. And then we're going to go skip that one. And then we're going to go to this. C2. Okay, these will be for the exhausts. Just give a sanding stick. Clean these up a little bit. I'll cut them off the sprue. So these should fit in this way. There's a little flat bit sticking out. Okay, you'll see it. Okay, a little flat bit sticking out there. That points inside. Okay, so you're making sure that that points in towards the tank. And when you put it together, it just closes off. Okay. And repeat the same on the other side. And what I like to do is just get an old paintbrush or something and just push it in, just to making sure that you've got it all the way in there. And get some glue. You don't really need to glue it in there, there's no need for it, but you can if you want. Okay. And all you do is get this and push them in there like that. Okay, and just get some more glue and just whack a bit on the bottom as well. Okay, so just let that sit for a couple of minutes to dry. And I'm going to get the fenders. So we've got 10 and 8. And what I'm going to do is I'll cut them off. 8, 10. So it's going to be 10, 8. And that way I can just cut them off. Cut and forget. Okay. Okay, so that being done, flip it around, make sure it's 10. Oh my god, there's a bit of flash. What are you doing, Meng? Okay. Okay, so 10 goes. So everything so far has just snap fitted together, everything locks in, but if you do want it to stay permanently fixed, you don't want nothing have the times to become loose and fall off, so you don't really see it. Just going to get some glue, I'm just going to apply it on the inside. Let that sit as well. Okay, that's the back part assembled. And then this. Okay, so this also has to be cleaned up. that should now. Nope. Okay, so still a couple of things I've got to clean up. Cut these off. Okay, so that just slots in like that. And all we do now, get some glueies. I'm going to glue one section at a time. I'm going to try and glue this whole thing in one hit. Okay. And try and glue these corners here. Yay! Let's glue this one upside down, Clem. Yay! Awesome. Let's glue stuff on upside down. Don't know what happened there. Oh well. At least it came undone. Okay. Let's try again. You idiot. No. Press that together for a little bit. And finally glue the main deck. Okay, so let that settle just for a little bit. Again, a quick smack. Okay, so we've done that. Okay, so what we've got left to do now is I'm glue on these D shackles and D shackles on the back, and so we're put these parts on the upper hole. So we've already done all this. Okay, so now while everything, I'm letting the main hole settle, everything glue settle down before I sort of put the rest of that stuff on that. Get the barrel, the mantlet, the turret assembled, see, and basically slap the top on, and I'll probably leave, actually what I might do is I might just put that on just for now. Hopefully that doesn't lock down, and oh, it does, it locks itself down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble, just build all this part, not glue that down because I still want to spray. I'll get this out of the light. So I still want to paint the interior of the turret, okay, with a cream white. and also would paint the underneath, and also underneath this hatch here, so I can give myself the option to put the figure in there. And if you look down, you can still see that's mostly painted. I'm going to give that a quick spray on the inside, just with a bit of whole red, just to give it a bit of colour inside. And I'm going to assemble all this stuff on top, hopefully, and that'll be the build complete. So I should have this knocked out in the next 45 minutes to an hour. But so let's get this turret thing happening. So all we're going to do, just so I don't take up a lot of space on my bench, I'm going to get the sprue, cut this stuff off. That can go in the bin. That can go in the bin. Just making sure there's nothing on those sprues before we throw them out. That way we've just got those left behind. Cut everything out for this turret here. And cut that out. Okay, and we'll just go snip, snip. Throw that in the bin. And then we've got this sprue left. And the barrel, we're going to cut away from the edge. Okay, so we're not going to cut right up against the barrel here. Just going to leave these little nubs hanging off the end. And I'll show you why. And now we can carefully trim the flat bits off first. Looks like these are all undecoated, so it comes off pretty easily. And they basically just click together. There's a little bit of a nub there, but it's all good. And see, there's a slot that's in the back here, so don't be confused that you got to glue that together, because it won't go together anymore. Because inside here there is a little slot, that little sleeve that it goes in. So just get in this way, I think it is. Hang on. Clean it up a little bit. A little bit of flash on here. Just get the hobby knife, clean that up like so. That slot's underneath, like that. Okay. And then now, grabbing our fingers, just lining them up a little bit, because it's a little bit wonky on the end. Just making sure that everything lines up nice. Get some glue straight down the middle of the middle section. And squeeze, not too hard because you don't want to squeeze all the melted plastic out. Just enough just to get them together. And doing the same thing on the other side. And just being very careful that doesn't run down all the recesses, and then you leave a big dirty fingerprint on the plastic. I'm not too worried about if there's any excess glue, because we've got to sand this back anyway. Okay. And then we're going to glue this in. Glue this on the inside. A couple of drops of glue in there. And just before the glue completely sets, just making sure that end lines up. I don't need any more cutters, Gil. I got like 3 pairs of cutters here on my bench. When I get a chance, when I remember, I'll actually send you a link to these. These are about, I think by memory, about $2 a set. So, and I'll send you another link for another set of cutters I found, and they look right too. So, alright, so these go. Hang on. These look like to be exactly the same either way. That just goes together like that. Alright, so that goes there. Doesn't say anything about not gluing it. I'm just going to run some glue in there. And run some glue on the inside. So down to the press. Right, so let that settle just for a little bit before I sort of pick it up and clean it up. And all I'm doing here is just cleaning up the plastic where I've just cut it off the sprue, making sure it's all nice and flush again. This back bit here, okay, I'm not going to sand that back just as yet because I want to sand those down evenly. So I'll leave those till I put those on, but just checking that that they will go together without sort of causing any problems, if that makes any sense. Alright, so I can't glue those together yet because I still want to clean that up, especially in here. So, okay, back to this piece of plastic here. Okay, and then the barrel here, I'm going to get a grab a skinny sanding sponge. Okay, so These are just the flory ones that I've also got, and I've just cut them down so they're really short, because they're generally, when you buy them brand new, you get them and they're like that long, okay? And what I find is if you use them that long, they tend to bend and all the paper separates from the sponge. So if you keep them short, you get a lot of sanding sponges out of the packet, and you generally keep these for a long time because they don't bend and crease and everything like that. So there's another little tip. When you're using a really soft sanding sponge, it actually bends around with the curves it forms with the plastic, and you minimise flat spots. So and treating your gun barrel like your road wheels, just don't be tempted to sand there in one spot. Roll your sander around so it's nice and flat, or go round, sorry, sand around with the curves of the barrel so you don't get a flat spot. And if they get choked up a bit, just wipe them on your shorts just to get rid of the dust out of it, unclog the paper. And lightly. And just take your time with this. You see how I'm rolling it around while I'm sanding back and forwards just to keep the sanding even. And do the same on the other side. Try to do a bigger one. It's got the big UMP, big sander here. Okay. And then, now that I've knocked off the bulk of it, I'm just going to grab one of these 3M sanding sponges, and all these things are, if you've got access to a hardware store or anything near you, that's all these are, guys. It's just a 3M sandblaster. Okay, it's a 320 grit, comes in a block form like that, and you just get a steel ruler and a hobby knife and just cut these down to size. You can cut them down to whatever size you want. The abrasive material is actually soaked into the sponge. Okay, it's not like these where it's just a piece of paper that's glued on the foam. These are actually absorbed into the sponge, so these do not separate. Okay, so the beauty about these things, you can bend these right up. Okay, like so, unfold them, and everything's still intact. So we're just going to wrap it around this and just spin the barrel inside. I think I've got a skinny one actually. Okay, so I do have a smaller one that I've cut down. Okay, so I do have. So I'm just going to grab this, grab it, and rotate the barrel in the sanding sponge. It's a 3M. Which one are you talking about, Adam? You talking about the ones that are in my hand now, or the black ones I was using before? Because it's probably the same thing, but just labeled under another name. So if you just missed it, they do have a wave sandblaster. So that's a 180 grit. That's a 320 grit. I've hardly used any of the 180, but these, I can't remember how much these are. These aren't that expensive. I got these at Bunnings, but they're not that expensive. I think they were like, oh shit. I'm only guessing here. Don't quote me on this. They're about $6 to $8, I think. I can't remember. Before blue and white. So I had that one. I had that one. So just tell me which one it is. There's that one, that one, that one. They're all the sanders I've used so far in this build. So they're the 3M ones. They're the Flory model sanders. That's the UMP sander. That's also a Flory sander. They're all pretty much the same. I don't really notice any difference between all these two brands. It's I just bought them because they were cheap at a hobby expo. Yeah, well they definitely sell these in Bunnings, dude. And you just go in the painting section where they sell the sandpaper and shit, and that's where they are. But I'll just leave these out if there's anyone watching later on, once this stream goes off air. I'll just leave these to the side here, and like these are brilliant for doing wheels. What I've also done is I've grabbed a paddle pop stick, and I've just, with a bit of I think it's araldite glue, like just 2-part epoxy, I've just cut them down. I think one's a 320 and one's a 180, I think, on here, and I've just glued them down so on the paddle pop stick, so I've got something a bit of firm, and that way I can just use them like a sanding stick. And then just for shits and giggles, I've just put OMM sanders on here. But yeah, they're not because like the sponge is that, it's really soft. Okay, so you rarely get flat spots on this. Like I don't use these sanders a hell of a lot when it comes to flat surfaces. Like if I'm trying to sand down, just details on the flat here, I'd tend to use these ones here. But if I've got to do like barrels, like back a toolbox, any curse, especially road wheels, like to finish clean them up, I'll generally use these. I didn't use them on this build just because I'm just trying to get through this build quickly, and I'm just trying to show you like the basics of it. Like I'm not trying to, like, all you experienced guys, all the mates that are actually watching know what they're doing, and I don't really have to tell you what you guys really have to show you guys, because you guys know what you're doing. But this is basically for the guys who never really built a model, or they're just curious on how to get better finishes on their builds. So, and we have kids visitors upstairs, so just excuse the children crying. I don't know who they are, but there's going to be a lot of noise. So if it does get really noisy and they start interrogating downstairs, what I want to do is I'm going to end the build. I'm going to stop, okay, and then if I get a bit more time, whether it's tomorrow afternoon or next week, I'll continue on, because I really don't want the sound of children down here. And I hate the sound of crying. Oh my god. Okay, so we're just going to keep going. Okay. But like you can see, that like don't be scared when like people they show you two-piece barrels, because it takes a bit of work. Like, okay, I'm not saying that two-piece barrels they're easy to put together, and well, they are easy to put together, but trying to get the trying to sand them back without getting a flat spot, I mean, that's the tricky part of it. I mean, you just got to take your time and be careful. Okay, so I mean that's pretty much it. Okay, so I've basically used the solvent just to melt the glue, lightly pressed together, just so a little bit comes up, like out to sort of fill the gaps. But then you carefully fill that in. I mean, you can, I don't know if you can see it, but I'll take some photos and I'll upload them on Outback Mini Mole's Facebook page. Actually, I'll do it now. So if you aren't subscribed to the Facebook page, or not really subscribed, if you're not liking it, go to the banner at the top of the go to the banner at the top of this YouTube channel, and there's a link to the Outback Mini Mole's Facebook page. Okay, here we go. So I'll just take some photos of the build so far. I think I'll be uploading these in these will be 4K images, but just to show you. And I'll even snap some photos of the these sanding sponges for you. Oh my god, children, stop crying. Why do children come over and they start crying? Can't you cry when you go they're at home? Okay, so pretty much okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly jump onto my Facebook page. And go Facebook. And that's what the page, that's what you're looking for. Okay, so that's what the page looks like. So we're going to go upload photos, notes. Oh my god, someone put a sock in his mouth. There we go. Post photos, and go bang, 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 bang. Done. Okay, so I've just named the post pics on the live stream. Publish. Okay, so the pictures are, should be. Right, so they're the pictures there up on Facebook. So if you do want to check them out, they are on there. So, alright. Make sure you get a bottle of super glue and just glue his lips together. Stop crying, boy! I'll give you something to cry about. What's that? Another brick in the kid. Tell them on your video. Yes, kids, shut up! Oh my god, yeah, these kids are mental. So I'm glad my kids are grown up, and my new girlfriend, her kids are grown up too, so Oh, trust me, guys. There's one noise I cannot stand is fucking crying. I just hate it. One thing that gets my like blood boiling, it's just kids, especially like boys, young boys crying. They just scream. It's like, ah! It's like, fuck. Okay. Anyway, back to this. So we're going to just slot that in there. Hopefully that goes in there. And making sure this fits around the wrong way. I am going to double check because I did glue the friggin' mud guards on backwards earlier on. Right, so instructions are saying right there. So this little piece goes to the left. So they slot in, hopefully. Right, they go in like so. And that, whoops, slots in there. Slot in there. Right, so squeeze that in. Right, so that way barrel becomes movable. Okay. Whee! Alright. Make sure everything sort of lines up. And if it doesn't line up, I can just send it back. So we're just going to squeeze them together. And some glue down the bottom here. Okay, so if you've never used this quick setting cement before, highly recommend it, and especially when you get through your builds quickly. If you're gluing small details, like where, I mean, you know what it's like gluing small details with a slow drying glue. You sit there and hold it and hold it and hold it, hold it, and then you bump it, and it's like ah. But if you've watched all my earlier videos, and I've been running with that Tetra EFD Simply Glues Tetris solvent cement, it's pretty much the same stuff. It just smells just as bad. I'm not saying it's the same chemical, but it just, yeah, the properties are very similar. The things dry super quick. Yeah, see what happens when you cry? You start coughing. Alright. Yep, that's right. Let's let that dry. I can glue them on there. God, we're nearly done, guys. So you can get these track links. And those. And we do have, I think they're on this sprue over here. What? C1. Righto, okay, so where's that piece? C, no. Right, C1, C1. I'm just going to sand these ends flat. Clean up where I've cut them off the sprue. Okay, and then here, I'm going to make sure that these go in. I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these out just ever so slightly. Okay, so there's like a fraction of a mil gap. That way we can feed the glue in there. And also we'll just test fit it, make sure it does fit. Okay. And then just put a little bit of glue down there. And then we push it in. And just repeat on this other side. And if there is any excess glue, just blow it out, let it run off, and it'll disappear. Okay, so don't be scared of that, especially with this glue. Okay, so well, move this over here so I don't want to knock it on the bench. Alright. So it looks like the track pins go towards the back. Push them in like that. See, there's a couple of holes that lines in. So you can't really go wrong, but just what I'm seeing on the picture is the track pins actually point backwards. Okay, so does that make sense? Okay, so you got the link itself, and you got the pins, and they go back. I'm just going to put some glue around here. Hopefully it'll soak through, and just glue them in. And then this, I'm not going to glue on until later because it does have locking tabs on here. So as soon as I press this down, this is going to go click and lock in, and I'm not going to be able to take it off again without breaking it. So I'm just going to get, I mean, I could just cut them off and then just glue them on later. I'll glue the turret down, but you don't want to do that just in case. Alright, so just to make sure. So it's getting, I mean, so far that looks pretty cool. Like, it's actually bigger than what I thought it was going to be, but it's going to be pretty fun. Alright, so what I might do is, before I even try and do that, I might just get some glue and run it down this join line, and then give it a little bit of a squeeze. Hold that together. Just to fill if there is a little gap there for whatever reason, that'll just close it up, and then I can sand that back in a minute. See, I've left that nub there where I've cut those two parts off. Okay, I've left those two on there because if I try and sand those off separately while the two halves were off like that together, they'll probably be uneven. But if I leave them on and sand them off while the back of the toolbox is together, it'll be more of an even finish. Okay, so and then back to the chassis assembly too. Alright, so we got the shovel, the lights, so there's really not much to assemble here, so we'll get through this part pretty quick. We need this, part 8. Okay, we need 6. Now what's this one? Oop, 10. And if you get confused, what you can do is just lay the parts out like so. If some of the parts look similar, okay. Use a shovel. So we need B11. What I like to do is I like to get, especially with grab handles, I like to cut the tab out as well with the part number and leave it on. I'll show you why. A15. Okay. And B7. Alright. So just giving all this stuff a quick clean down. I'm just putting them back on the instruction book. Oops. Just remember I'm using these 3M sanders for the curved surfaces, okay? And I've always found Meng plastic pretty nice to work with too, so it really doesn't take much to clean up. So, looking at this stream, we've been going forward. Does it even say down there? Is there a count on this thing? No. Oh, choke. And then Linux comes in and drops an atomic bomb and kills everyone. Right, so that's done, that's done. I'll leave this till last. Oh, don't die. Alright, so these, okay, so this goes in there. Obviously that locks in there. See, there's a locating tab in there it locks into. So that goes in there. I guess that allows it to move a little bit. And then, where's this go? Okay, just making sure there is two ways you can go in, but there's only one right way. If you went the other way, it'll point up. Yeah, you want it to point straight forward. Okay. And the shovel goes, which way does it go? Shovel goes that way. Why do people come over when they're sick? It's like, amazes me. Stay home if you're sick. Push, push. Push, push, bitches. Alright. So it's in there like that. Whoops. Everything's pushy, pushy. And then this thing, I'll clean that up. Yep. It goes up the front here. And this goes everything just slots in. There's really this reminds me of a nice little Bandai kit. If you've built those before, everything just slots in and locks in place. But I like to add a bit of glue just in case, because when you paint it, you don't want any separation. Okay, so now what I was talking about, you're leaving the tabs on. Okay, this is when you're even just building like little handrails on like 1/35 armor. Leave the tabs on. Okay, like even if you just want to cut it off, like there. Okay, and have that as a grab handle. Okay, and then you just push that in there without having to use tweezers or anything. Okay, so right now it looks unsightly. It's like, oh my god, you didn't get that off. So you just glue that down. Give it a little bit of a blow. Get your clippers. You go snip, and you basically chuck that on without fiddling around with it too much. And you just get your sander. Because you're not trying to sand that small piece on its own now. You've got this whole tank to hold on to. And sanding the top. Okay. And that just makes life a lot easier. So flicking back through all these pages, got the top of the tank, all right. So we got A9. So once again, just put the parts down there on the instructions so we know what we're doing. I'm making sure that we've got all the parts cut out. B13. Same thing again. Oh. Okay, now that bit I just cut off. We've got B13, but I think the other one just went bing, went flying off somewhere. Alright, so I'm going to have to try. I don't like the looks of where it's disappeared to. Okay, I'll deal with that later. So just cut that off. So now that's a hard edged part, we can just use this hard sander to round off the edges, clean it up, check with our fingers. Then what we're going to do is we're going to have it so that pops in, or we're going to have it and have it so this turret's open like that. But we're not going to glue it down because I can always, if I change my mind later on, I can just go. So just for now, I'm just going to leave it like that. press that down. Okay, so the grab handle that went flying off before, I'm going to dig that up after the stream, and I'll glue that back on, so when I come back to the second part of this, like the painting, the priming and painting stage of it, I'll already have that back on there. Okay, I've just got to dig. It'll probably take me about half an hour looking for this, and I don't really want to spend half an hour looking for this on the stream, so I'm going to skip that one. So what I might do is I might just grab a highlighter pen and just mark, just to remind myself that this bit has to be looked for. Okay, so I'll mark that in pink. And we have, oops, wrong tools, idiot. Right, so another sprue empty. Okay, so clean that up, and then C5, wherever they went. So C. C5. 5. Where'd that go? There's that one. Okay. So I like that. It's very simplified. So like the rail and the vision ports or the vision blocks are all in this one piece here. Okay. So the hell. Let's put a bit of glue on this middle hole here just to get it started. This one's being stable. Okay. Okay. So we've got the hatch A5, and then we've also got the smoke launchers to put on there. Now these should be all one piece, I believe, and they are. Alright, so how is that? So A14, we'll start off with one first. Yeah. And like you go looking for something else on the floor and you go, oh wow, there's that bit. Oh god. It makes me laugh every time. Okay. Well, I can't really put them on, actually. I'm trying to think where I can spray that from the outside. Well, I could spray that from the inside of the turret, so this will be going on. So I need to put this on for the smoke launchers. See, everything just clips in. No, it's just sure that's right. 13 goes on that side. See you, Gil. And these. This is actually a pretty fun build. Something I generally wouldn't build, or not wouldn't, but I don't build. But just the simplicity of this kit just makes it fun. Okay, so just a little dollop of glue on the bottom. Whoa, okay. A bit excess there. Okay, that'll just glue it in for now, like so. So pretty much we've got this door to put on. So 5 it should be. We're almost built. It's almost done. Right. flash there. Yay. And then all we got left are these D shackles. And that mystery part that went flying off my bench somewhere. Alright, so these are all cleaned up, D shackles. All I need to do now is feed them into the holes here. And what I generally do with mine, I generally glue them in just so they don't move around and scratch the paint up. Okay, so the D shackles are on the back. Alright, so all this needs now is a little bit of a sand back. Just going to have this turret semi, I'll just push down for now. It's not 100% closed in. That sprue's empty, it's in the bin. That sprue is empty, they're going in the bin. All we got left is that little part that went flying off the bench, which I'm going to find in a minute. But guys, that's the build. Okay, that's pretty much what she looks like. The only thing I've got to put on is these two little holes here. That's just another grab handle. It's one of these things that goes there. But you know, stay tuned. I mean, really thanks for sticking around and watching me build this thing. It's been fun. It hasn't taken long at all. It's going to be fun to paint, just purely just because it's just because of the subject. It's a tiger. Just got to sand all that back. Okay, like I'm going to let this glue sort of set a bit more before I sand it back. But yeah, guys. Don't know what I'll be doing the second part because I've got to go back to work tomorrow, so it depends on how I'm feeling. I might even just prime it. I might even just do little quick videos, and it may not be live, just might be like section by section, to see how it depends on how I work this bit out. But catch you later, boys. Thanks for sticking around, and make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed to my channel, and give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and feel free to leave comments. Have a good great weekend, and I will see you in another video. See you guys. Bye bye.